Dr. Amina Carter's journey into the stars was not merely paved with stardust and cosmic wonder. It was forged through fire, struggle, and an unyielding determination to claim her rightful place in the realm of science. A journey reflecting both personal growth and systemic challenges faced by women of color in STEM. Her journey was one of resilience. Amina found beauty and inspiration in the complexities of her environment. With eyes that reflected both curiosity and hope, she often climbed to the roof of her apartment building, gazing up at the velvety expanse of the night sky. The stars above were not just distant worlds, but symbols of possibility, urging her to reach beyond the confines of her immediate reality, to places where women of color have historically been underrepresented. Each twinkling light became a beacon, igniting her passion for astrophysics, a field where she often found herself one of the very few women and the only person of color in classrooms and laboratories. Amina's love for the cosmos became a sanctuary, a place where she could dream without limits, even as the world around her stacked the odds against her. In those moments beneath the stars, she envisioned a future not only for herself, but for all the dreamers from neighborhoods like hers, determined to transform their hopes into tangible achievements. Growing up in a diverse but economically challenged neighborhood, Amina was constantly reminded that the road to success was rarely smooth, especially for someone who looked like her. In school, she was one of few students who dared to dream of a career in astrophysics, a field dominated by faces who hardly resembled her own. The early seeds of discrimination were planted in subtle comments from teachers who doubted her potential and in a system that readily assigned her a secondary role in academic pursuits. Yet in these moments, rather than diminishing her resolve, the challenges honed her determination to prove that passion and talent can flourish against all odds. With each passing year, Amina immersed herself deeper into books and research. Her room transformed into a sanctuary lined with posters of galaxies, equations, and quotes from renowned scientists. She found solace in late-night stargazing sessions, where her ambitious dreams danced among the constellations, battling against the oppressive weight of societal expectations. Her best friend Malik, a budding photographer, often joined her, capturing moments of inspiration under the vast night sky. Together, they vowed to break boundaries. Amina would explore the cosmos, while Malik would document their journey, shining a light on untold stories from their community. Encouraged by supportive mentors in her high school, Amina actively sought opportunities to expand her horizons. She entered science fairs, participated in local STEM programs, and secured a competitive summer internship at a nearby observatory. These experiences shifted her initial doubts into unshakable determination, as she learned not only the complexities of black holes, but also the intricacies of dark matter, concepts that were often abstracted away from underrepresented students. However, with each success, the shadow of self-doubt whispered persistently in her ear. Did she truly belong in this world of scientific discovery? Or was she merely an imposter fleeting through cosmic realms reserved for others? As she finalized her college applications, Amina spent hours crafting essays that reflected her journey, her struggles, and her resolute spirit. She wrote about the challenges of overcoming systemic obstacles and the need for diversity in fields where knowledge about the universe was predominantly shaped by a narrow lens. On the day she stumbled upon a scholarship opportunity geared toward underrepresented students in STEM, she felt a surge of hope. If awarded, it could be her launching pad into a successful future where she would not only contribute to astrophysics, but inspire other girls of color to dream big. The moment Amina received her acceptance letter from a prestigious university was one of bittersweet victory. Filled with exhilaration, tears of anxiety followed swiftly as she grappled with the weight of representing her community. Stepping onto the campus for the first time, she was determined to forge connections, seek allies among fellow students, and challenge the status quo, feeling the weight of history upon her shoulders. Amina understood that her journey wasn't only about her aspirations, it was about belonging and pushing back against stereotypes and biases that sought to contain her. As the first semester unfolded, Amina faced unrelenting moments of doubt, but countered with resilience. She reached out to professors, participated in study groups, and gradually found her voice in lectures. As she shared her unique insights, her classmates began to recognize the value of diverse perspectives in exploring complex scientific concepts. Each conversation chipped away at her insecurities and fortified her belief in the importance of her journey. Ultimately, Amina knew that she was not just fostering her own dreams, but also paving the way for future generations. She envisioned hosting workshops for girls in her neighborhood, armed with telescopes and knowledge, teaching them that the stars were not beyond their reach. Amina refused to let the universe's boundaries dictate her trajectory. Instead, she transformed her fight against adversity into a launching pad for herself and others. It was only the beginning, and her dreams of breaking through the atmosphere were finally within sight. During her elementary years, Amina's teacher, Mrs. Robinson, quickly recognized her keen interest in space and science, an interest that seemed to leap from Amina's bright eyes and enthusiastic questions. Merely to the Robinson would often invite Amina to sit at the front of the class during science demonstrations, where the glow of the projector illuminated not only the planets and stars, but also the fervent dreams of a young girl staring in wonder. This gesture not only ignited a spark within her, but transformed that spark into a blazing fire of ambition that would drive Amina forward through all of life's barriers. When her classmates questioned why she seemed different in her inquisitive manner, why she was often lost in thoughts that drifted beyond the classroom walls, Amina would reply with a proud smile, her voice ringing with conviction. "I'm destined to explore the mysteries of the universe." It was a declaration of her dreams, bold and unyielding. Even then, Miss Robinson's quiet mentorship and the library books she lent, often filled with intricate diagrams of galaxies and the stories of astronauts, played a significant role in shaping Amina's budding love for astrophysics. Those books were more than just words on a page. They were gateways to the cosmos that fueled her imagination and ambition, pushing her to dream of galaxies far beyond her reach. As she progressed into middle school, the challenges grew more daunting. Academic environments that were supposed to be nurturing sometimes revealed the harsh undercurrents of academic discrimination. Teachers would sometimes overlook her contributions in favor of her classmates. Her ideas were dismissed without due consideration, and she often found herself fighting for the simple right to be heard. At home, her mother, a dedicated nurse who juggled work and family responsibilities with unwavering care, instilled in Amina the importance of resilience. "Keep reaching for the stars, my dear," her mother would say, "even if the heavens seem out of reach." As Amina navigated the hallways filled with laughter and cliques, she grappled with feelings of isolation stemming from academic pressures and the often lonely path of a pioneering student. Group projects became battlegrounds, where her insights were frequently overshadowed by those who were louder or more assertive. Each time her ideas were dismissed, she felt the weight of doubt creeping in like a shadow. Yet her mother's words echoed in her mind, urging her to persist. Determined not to let adversity define her, Amina sought out allies in the unlikeliest of places, forming bonds with students who shared her passion for literature and science in a small group that became her safe haven, where her voice was valued and her thoughts respected. Together, they formed a study club that blossomed into a support network, lifting each other up during the turbulent waves of adolescence. As the school year unfolded, Amina discovered a new outlet for her thoughts and emotions. She began journaling, pouring her heart onto the pages, transforming her frustrations into eloquent prose. Through her writing, she articulated her experiences of being overlooked, creating stories that resonated with the struggles of many of her peers. It became a form of empowerment, allowing her to reclaim her narrative and inspire others. With each entry, she felt more confident, as if the ink on the pages somehow gave her strength and clarity. Encouraged by her friends, Amina decided to submit one of her stories to the school literary magazine. Despite her fear of rejection, she recalled her mother's advice. "What's the worst that could happen?" When the magazine was published, her story was prominently featured, earning praise from both peers and teachers. Empowered by this experience, she began advocating for her ideas more assertively in class discussions. Although there were still moments of resistance, Amina quickly learned how to navigate the dynamics of classroom conversations, finding her voice among the noise. Each contribution felt like a small victory, a testament to her growth and determination. As the year drew to a close, she approached her teachers with a proposal for a new initiative, a forum where students could present their ideas, fostering an environment of inclusion and collaboration. It was a bold step, but she felt the fire of possibility igniting within her. Reflecting on her journey, Amina understood that the road ahead would still have obstacles, but she was no longer intimidated by them. With her mother's unwavering support and her newfound confidence, she was ready to embrace the challenges of high school and beyond. Keep reaching for the stars, she whispered to herself, because every setback could be the stepping stone to something greater. High school was a turning point in Amina's life. It was during these formative years that the weight of academic prejudice bore down on her most heavily. Despite her stellar performance in science and mathematics, she encountered subtle yet pervasive biases. College counselors, influenced by outdated stereotypes, guided her towards careers in medicine or nursing rather than the illustrious realms of research and discovery. When Amina insisted on pursuing astrophysics, she was met with skepticism and discouragement. Yet within these moments of adversity, Amina discovered an inner strength and an insatiable hunger for knowledge. Amina threw herself into her studies with renewed vigor, often spending late nights at the local library, surrounded by the thick tomes of astrophysics and theoretical physics. She found solace in the distant galaxies and the vast cosmos, a universe that seemed to understand her better than her peers did. Each equation she solved felt like a small victory against the whispering doubts that hovered in her mind. As she progressed through high school, Amina diligently sought out mentors who truly recognized her passion and potential. She connected with a retired professor who had once been a trailblazer in the field of astronomy. Their discussions sparked an intense fire within Amina. He shared stories of his adventures working on space missions and unraveling the mysteries of black holes, providing not merely guidance, but a sense of belonging in a world too often fraught with discrimination. Inspired, Amina began to envision herself not just as a student, but as an explorer who would one day contribute to our ever-expanding understanding of the universe, defying expectations and opening doors for others. Realizing that her journey would not be straightforward, Amina started attending workshops and summer programs at nearby universities. These experiences opened her eyes to a community of like-minded individuals who shared her curiosity and ambition. Surrounded by diverse voices, each with unique journeys, Amina began to grasp the importance of representation in the sciences. She met other young women of color pursuing STEM, and together they formed a support group, encouraging one another to defy the stereotypes that clung to them. By the time she graduated from high school, Amina had accumulated scholarships and heralded awards that would pave her way to a prestigious college. She was accepted into a well-respected astrophysics program, a place where her ideas could flourish without the weight of bias. Standing on the threshold of this new chapter, she felt a blend of excitement and apprehension. What awaited her in this new world full of possibilities? As she stepped onto campus for the first time, Amina was determined to carve out her own path. She quickly immersed herself in her coursework, diving deep into subjects like quantum mechanics and cosmology. Her professors recognized her dedication and keen mind, often inviting her to participate in advanced research projects. It was in these collaborative environments that Amina's confidence began to blossom. She advocated for herself, presenting her findings in front of her peers and even at conferences. Yet the shadows of her past still lingered. Occasionally, she encountered dismissive attitudes from fellow students who underestimated her abilities. But instead of retreating, she used these encounters as fuel to stoke her passion further. Amina became an outspoken advocate for diversity in STEM, taking on leadership roles in the student organizations focused on inclusion. She organized workshops, inviting guest speakers from various backgrounds to inspire other aspiring scientists. Through her journey, Amina learned that true strength lay not only in personal triumphs, but also in lifting others alongside her. As she approached the end of her undergraduate journey, she prepared for graduate school with a sense of purpose that transcended her own ambitions. Amina envisioned a future where she would not just be an astrophysicist, but also a mentor, ensuring that the doors she had fought so hard to enter would be ajar for generations to come. Every step Amina took was driven by the belief that she could reshape perceptions and forge new paths in an arena once deemed inhospitable. In her junior year, Amina participated in an inter-school science fair, where she presented a project on the physics of black holes. Although her project was groundbreaking in its approach and innovative in its calculations, some of the judges questioned whether a young black woman could truly grasp the intricacies of such a complex phenomenon. Their words stung, but rather than deter her, these experiences fanned the flames of her ambition. She spent countless nights in the school library, poring over research papers and textbooks, determined to silence the doubters with the undeniable force of her intellect. Amina meticulously crafted her presentation, ensuring every detail was accurate and engaging. She enlisted the help of her physics teacher, Mr. Jacobs, who recognized her passion and dedication, Together, they ran simulations and created models to visually illustrate the phenomenon of black holes, from their formation to their mysterious event horizons. With each passing day, Amina became more confident, her excitement growing as the fair approached. On the day of the event, she arrived at the auditorium early, her heart pounding with anticipation. As she set up her display, she noticed the other participants, many of whom had more experience and resources than she. Still, she focused on her work, reminding herself of her purpose. When it was time to present, Amina took a deep breath and stepped forward. Her voice was steady as she explained the complexities of black holes, weaving in scientific concepts with relatable analogies. To her surprise, a different set of expressions appeared on the judges' faces. Fascination replaced skepticism. By the end of her presentation, Amina received enthusiastic applause. It was a pivotal moment, affirming not only her abilities as a scientist, but also her resilience against prejudice. Days later, the fair culminated in an award ceremony. While every project was impressive, the judges announced Amina's project as the best in show. Her heart soared with pride as she accepted the award, grateful for the affirmation of her hard work. It wasn't just a victory for her, but a beacon of hope for other young women of color aspiring to enter the sciences. In the months that followed, Amina became known in her school for her innovative approach to science. She started a club that encouraged underrepresented students to explore STEM fields through hands-on projects and mentorship programs. Her journey inspired many, showcasing that passion and dedication can defy the expectations placed upon individuals based on their race or gender. As she prepared for college applications, Amina emphasized not only her academic achievements, but also her role as a leader and advocate within her community. She envisioned herself at a prestigious university, studying astrophysics and eventually contributing to groundbreaking research. Amina's dream was no longer just a distant possibility. It was an impending reality, fueled by a belief that she belonged at the forefront of scientific discovery. Amina left the lecture hall that day with a spark ignited within her. Inspired by Dr. Martinez's journey, which mirrored her own struggles and triumphs, she resolved to dedicate more time to her studies, immersing herself in books about astrophysics and the universe, usurping the time she could have spent on societal pressures. Each night she would lie awake, peering through her telescope, dreaming of the day she could discover a new star or even a new planet, setting her sights on bending the trajectory of her future to her dreams. The limitless expanse of the night sky became her canvas, each twinkling light representing a goal she was determined to achieve. Amina left the lecture hall that day with a spark ignited within her. Inspired by Dr. Martinez's journey, she resolved to dedicate more time to her studies, immersing herself in books about astrophysics and the universe. Each night she would lie awake, peering through her telescope, dreaming of one day discovering a new star or even a new planet. The limitless expanse of the night sky became her canvas, each twinkling light representing a goal she was determined to achieve. As the school year progressed, Amina sought out opportunities to advance her knowledge. She joined the science club, where she met peers who shared her passion for exploration. Together, they participated in science fairs, and Amina's project on black holes caught the attention of not just her classmates, but also local media. Her articulate presentations and enthusiasm made her a standout, and she began to receive invitations to speak at community events, inspiring younger students to pursue their dreams. Motivated by her growing confidence, Amina reached out to Dr. Martinez via email, expressing her gratitude for their meeting and sharing her progress. To her surprise, Dr. Martinez responded with warmth, providing additional resources and even inviting Amina to attend a summer workshop at a prestigious observatory. It was an opportunity that seemed too good to be true, yet it was becoming a staple in Amina's developing path. When summer arrived, Amina found herself standing under the vast dome of the observatory, surrounded by professionals who fueled her curiosity with every lecture and discussion. She learned not just about the cosmological phenomena she had adored from afar, but also about the importance of representation and resilience in science. With each passing day, she felt more empowered, realizing that challenges could become stepping stones instead of barriers. Upon returning home, Amina began to view her own community through a different lens, one colored by empowerment and hope. She recognized that many students in her neighborhood lack the resources to pursue interests in science and technology. Inspired by Dr. Martinez's legacy and her own journey, Amina launched a weekend program at her school aimed at mentoring younger students, particularly girls and those from underrepresented backgrounds. The initiative blossomed into a small community of budding scientists eager to learn, explore, and dream big about their futures. Years later, as Amina stood at the podium to deliver her acceptance speech for a scholarship to study astrophysics at a prestigious university, she reflected on how far she had come. From the shy girl who lingered in the shadows of the school halls to a confident advocate for change, Amina knew that her journey was just beginning. As she highlighted the importance of mentorship and representation in her speech, she felt Dr. Martinez's encouraging presence beside her in spirit, urging her to keep reaching for the stars. Armed with confidence and nurtured by Dr. Martinez's mentorship, Amina applied to several prestigious universities, meticulously crafting her applications to reflect both her passion for astrophysics and her resilience in the face of adversity. The acceptance letter from a renowned university, the very institution where many of the world's leading astrophysicists had once studied, filled her with both joy and apprehension. Amina took a deep breath as she walked through the university gates for the first time, her heart racing with excitement and nervousness. The campus was alive with students bustling to classes, each one absorbed in their own world of academia and ambition. She felt a sense of belonging as she joined a group of fellow freshmen, their conversations lively with dreams of discovering the mysteries of the universe. Amina quickly immersed herself in her studies, attending lectures that ignited her passion further. Professor Lee, a renowned figure in the field, captivated her with discussions about dark matter and the potential for extraterrestrial life. Each class felt like a step closer to her dreams, yet the whispers of doubt remained at the edges of her mind. Despite her growing knowledge, Amina faced challenges that often seemed overwhelming. Some classmates, blinded by their biases, questioned her capabilities and dismissed her ideas. She would overhear snickers when she spoke up in class, and though it hurt, she chose to rise above. With each dismissal, she dug deeper into her studies, letting her passion for astrophysics fuel her resolve. Amina formed a study group with fellow students who shared her enthusiasm, cultivating an environment of support and encouragement. It was during one late-night study session that Amina discovered an interstellar project that ignited her curiosity, an upcoming research opportunity to analyze data from a newly launched space telescope. The application was competitive and would require not just academic excellence, but also innovative thinking. Amina collaborated with her peers, sharing ideas and brainstorming ways to approach their research question. The bonds they formed amid textbooks and caffeine-fueled nights brought them closer, creating a network of aspiring scientists determined to uplift one another. As the deadline approached, Amina poured her heart into every detail of the project. She embraced her unique perspective, weaving her personal experiences into the research, articulating how she could contribute to a diverse scientific narrative. It wasn't just about winning, it was about making her voice heard in a field that often overlooked individuals like her. When the day of submission arrived, she felt a mix of relief and anticipation, knowing she had given it her all. Weeks later, Amina received an email that would change the trajectory of her academic journey. She had been selected for the research project and would present her findings at a national conference. Elation washed over her, yet alongside it came a familiar wave of anxiety. Speaking in front of experts and peers was daunting, but Dr. Martinez's words echoed in her mind. Your story is a powerful tool. Use it. In the days leading up to the conference, Amina practiced relentlessly, refining her presentation and working on her confidence. When the day finally arrived, she stood at the podium, heart racing yet steady. As she delivered her research, she noticed the attentive faces in the audience, many nodding in agreement with her insights. She spoke not just as a scientist, but as an advocate for inclusivity in STEM, urging the community to embrace diverse perspectives. When her presentation concluded, the room erupted in applause. Amina stepped down, overwhelmed by a mix of relief and pride. She had made her mark. After the session, several attendees approached her, expressing their admiration and interest in her work. For Amina, it was more than just validation. It was a strong reminder that her journey, filled with struggles and triumphs, had significance beyond the classroom, a testament to the power of perseverance and the beauty of embracing one's identity. At university, Amina immersed herself in her studies, devouring texts on cosmology, quantum mechanics, and the physics of celestial bodies. Her days were filled with rigorous coursework and late nights in the laboratory. However, academic discrimination reared its head even in this hallowed hall of learning. Many of her professors and peers, unfamiliar with the depth of her talent, patronized her or subtly sidelined her contributions. In group projects, for instance, ideas expressed by Amina were sometimes appropriated by others, and her unique perspective was often underestimated given her background. These experiences, though painful, served as lessons in perseverance. She learned to document every contribution meticulously and found solace in the truth that science, at its core, was not about who presented an idea, but about the idea's merit. Within the academic labyrinth, Amina found an unexpected sanctuary in a research group led by Professor Samuel Green, a professor known not only for his contributions to astrophysics, but also for his commitment to diversity in science. Recognizing Amina's brilliance and her often underestimated analytical skills, Professor Green took her under his wing. He invited her to join his research team focused on investigating the elusive nature of dark matter, a subject that resonated with Amina's fascination with the unknown aspects of the universe. As part of the team, Amina was struck by the collaborative atmosphere that Professor Green cultivated. The group consisted of a diverse array of students and researchers, each bringing their unique backgrounds and perspectives to the complex puzzle of dark matter. They gathered weekly in the lab, surrounded by walls adorned with diagrams of galaxies and shimmering visuals of cosmic phenomena, all of which ignited Amina's passion for discovery even further. One afternoon, while reviewing data from the latest experiments, Amina spotted an anomaly in the readings that others had overlooked. She felt a thrill of excitement coursing through her veins as she approached Professor Green with her findings. With his characteristic enthusiasm, he encouraged her to present her analysis to the group. Amina stood in front of the whiteboard, her hands shaking slightly as she explained her thought process, tracing her finger over the invisible threads of dark matter that seemed to connect their theoretical models to real-world observations. The response was overwhelmingly positive. Amina's peers responded with a barrage of questions that only fueled her excitement. They debated the implications of her discovery late into the evening, their conversations intermingling with laughter and the distant hum of the universe beyond their small lab space. It was a pivotal moment for Amina, not just academically, but personally. For the first time, she felt truly seen and valued in a field where she had often been made to feel invisible. As the weeks progressed, Amina found herself delving deeper into her research, passionate about unraveling the secrets of dark matter. Late nights turned into early mornings as she lost herself in the mathematics that defined the universe. The more she learned, the more questions arose, leading her to explore the potential links between dark matter and galaxy formation, as well as its role in the evolution of cosmic structures. During her journey, Amina forged not just valuable friendships with her fellow researchers, but also connections rooted in shared aspirations for positive change. The late-night discussions turned into brainstorming sessions, fueled by excitement as they shared meals and alternative perspectives, revealing both academic dedication and personal stories, insights that expanded their collective ambition. It was amidst this camaraderie that Amina began to contemplate her own future seriously. She realized that she wanted to be more than just a researcher. She wanted to amplify the voices of underrepresented communities in science, inspiring the next generation of scientists who might one day explore the same mysteries of the cosmos, furthering not just personal aspirations but a collective mission. Motivated by her experiences, Amina approached Professor Green with an idea. She proposed an outreach program aimed at engaging high school students from underrepresented backgrounds in the field of astrophysics. Professor Green's eyes sparkled with approval as he instructed her to draft a proposal. With the support of her research team, Amina poured her heart into creating a program that would include mentorship, hands-on workshops, and immersive experiences that showed students not just the beauty of the cosmos, but the myriad possibilities that awaited them in the world of science. Thus began Amina's journey from being a student consumed by self-doubt to becoming a catalyst for change within her community. She learned that the pursuit of knowledge could be as illuminating as the stars themselves, guiding her through dark times and illuminating paths she had never thought possible. Through her work with Professor Green and her colleagues, Amina was not just a passive observer of the universe's mysteries. She was now an active participant, determined to shape her destiny and those of others around her. Working in Dr. Green's laboratory was transformative. For the first time, Amina was part of a team that recognized her contributions without regard to her ethnicity or gender. As weeks turned into months, Amina's confidence grew alongside her expertise. She found herself immersed in projects that challenged the boundaries of known science. The team's current focus was a particularly elusive phenomenon: dark matter. The feeling of discovery was electric, sparking late-night discussions that often stretched into the early hours. Each breakthrough, no matter how incremental, was celebrated with the kind of enthusiasm that resonated deeply with Amina. One evening, while analyzing data from a newly discovered quasar, she stumbled upon an anomaly that seemed inexplicable. Sharing her findings during their regular meetings ignited a flurry of questions and hypotheses from her colleagues, and soon they were all gathered around the data visualizer, their faces illuminated by the glow of screens. The diverse tapestry of cultures in the lab enhanced their brainstorming sessions. Ideas flowed freely, and what seemed like an oversight in Amina's initial analysis turned into a potential avenue for a groundbreaking paper. Dr. Green, impressed by Amina's insights, encouraged her to lead the study, a responsibility she embraced with both excitement and trepidation. As she delved deeper into her research, Amina often reflected on her journey. Young and full of aspirations, she had faced countless hurdles that often seemed insurmountable. Those experiences shaped her resolve and made her determined to mentor younger scientists facing similar challenges. Inspired by her own transformation, she initiated outreach programs for local schools, inviting students from underrepresented backgrounds to the laboratory. She believed representation was crucial in fields like astrophysics, and she wanted to show children that they too could explore the cosmos. Gradually, her efforts yielded results. The lab began to host an annual summer camp, where aspiring scientists engaged hands-on with telescopes and simulations. Fully immersed in her research and outreach work, Amina found herself grappling with the ever-increasing demands of academia. Juggling her responsibilities began to take a toll. However, the excitement ignited by her discoveries and the enthusiasm of her mentees pushed her through the challenges. Alongside the rigorous scientific pursuit, Amina fostered relationships with her colleagues, sharing not only breakthroughs but personal experiences that adorned their professional journey. The laboratory room was not merely a workspace. It became a sanctuary of ideas, dreams, and shared struggles. As the season shifted into autumn, Amina prepared to present her findings at a prestigious conference. The prospect of sharing her work with renowned physicists sparked a mix of nerves and exhilaration. What started as a solitary pursuit transformed into an opportunity to represent a wave of diverse voices eager to alter the trajectory of scientific exploration. She decorated her presentation with not just data, but stories of her team's collaborative spirit and her drive for inclusivity. As she stepped onto the stage, she envisioned not only her success, but the future of an entire field being reshaped by the power of unity, diversity, and innovative thinking. Despite the positive environment in her laboratory, academic discrimination did not vanish entirely. There were moments when Amina encountered resistance from established figures who were accustomed to a more homogeneous academic tradition. During a pivotal conference presentation in her second year, an eminent scholar voiced skepticism about her methodology, suggesting that perhaps her background had left her ill-equipped to navigate such complex data. The criticism was both public and demeaning, yet Amina stood her ground. With the unshakable support of Professor Green and Dr. Martinez, who had now become a regular mentor, she calmly defended her research, presenting rigorous data and clear visualizations that left little room for doubt. That moment, though challenging, marked the beginning of a slow but steady erosion of prejudice within her academic circles. As word of her formidable defense spread throughout the conference, Amina found herself receiving unexpected support from fellow researchers who had witnessed her struggle. Many approached her afterward, expressing admiration not just for her scientific acumen, but for her resilience in the face of potential professional marginalization. This newfound camaraderie expanded her network, encouraging her to collaborate with others who had faced similar barriers in their careers. It became evident that Amina's experience was not isolated. She became a beacon for others who felt the weight of implicit biases. Emboldened by her newfound solidarity, Amina decided to spearhead a workshop aimed at fostering inclusive discussions within the academic community. She invited speakers from diverse backgrounds and disciplines to highlight the richness that varying perspectives bring to research. The event was met with enthusiasm, drawing participants from multiple universities and disciplines. Establishing a supportive platform that encouraged frank conversations about discrimination, bias, and equity in academia, further uniting the community. As she organized the workshop, Amina collaborated closely with Dr. Martinez and Professor Green, who helped her navigate the administrative hurdles that often accompany such initiatives. Together, they created an agenda that focused on both personal stories and practical solutions for promoting diversity within research teams. The workshop culminated in breakout sessions where attendees brainstormed ways to implement these practices in their own institutions, resulting in a collective commitment to change. Amina's leadership in the workshop not only strengthened her professional reputation, but also deepened her sense of purpose within her field. She recognized that her work was not merely about pushing the boundaries of knowledge, it was also about paving the way for future generations of scientists who might face similar challenges. As she reflected on her journey, Amina felt a renewed determination to remain an advocate for diversity and inclusion, understanding that her own success was intertwined with that of her peers. In the months that followed, Amina continued to publish her research, gaining recognition not just for her findings, but for her advocacy work. Each new paper was accompanied by discussions about the importance of diverse perspectives in scientific inquiry. Amina began to be invited to speak at various institutions, sharing her story and the lessons learned about resilience and community in the face of adversity. Despite the hurdles that remained, Amina could feel the tide slowly shifting. Her work had sparked a dialogue that was gradually transforming the academic landscape, inspiring others to challenge outdated norms. Little by little, the atmosphere in her laboratory and beyond began to reflect the diversity she had long championed, culminating in a sense of hope for a more equitable future in academia. In the following years, Amina dedicated herself to unraveling the mysteries of dark matter. She spent long nights in observatories and countless hours analyzing data from particle accelerators. Her research aimed to develop a novel theoretical framework that could potentially bridge the gap between observed cosmic phenomena and the elusive particles that traditional models failed to detect. It was an audacious goal, one that required not just brilliant mathematics and physics, but also creative thinking and bold innovation. Her approach brought together elements of quantum field theory and advanced computer modeling, challenging long-held assumptions in astrophysics. As she delved deeper into her studies, Amina often found herself grappling with the profound implications of her work. The more she uncovered, the more questions seemed to arise. One evening, while observing the intricate patterns of galaxy clusters, she had a revelation, a new perspective on the distribution of dark matter that could explain anomalies that had troubled researchers for decades. With a renewed sense of purpose, she began drafting a series of equations that not only described the gravitational effects of dark matter, but also predicted how it interacted with normal matter in dynamic systems. Amina's research caught the attention of her peers and mentors, sparking intense discussions at conferences and seminars. The astrophysics community buzzed with excitement, yet skepticism lingered. Some experts dismissed her findings, clinging to established theories that had stood unchallenged for years. Undeterred, Amina sought collaboration with experimental physicists, advocating for new experiments designed explicitly to test her theories. She organized joint workshops, uniting theoretical physicists and experimentalists, fostering a lively exchange of ideas that pushed the boundaries of their fields. As the months went by, Amina's reputation as a formidable scientist grew. Students began to flock to her lectures, captivated by her passion and vision. She encouraged them to think critically and to embrace the unknown, inspiring a new generation of researchers eager to explore the cosmos's frontiers. Together, they worked on innovative simulations, visualizing dark matter previously unseen by human eyes. Each simulation revealed new phenomena, unsettling yet exciting, as they began to chart the behavior of the universe with unprecedented clarity. Then came the breakthrough, a successful collaboration with a nearby particle accelerator that confirmed one of her theoretical predictions. The data showed an unexpected interaction pattern consistent with her model of dark matter. The news sent ripples through the scientific community, and Amina was invited to present her findings at an international symposium. Standing before her peers, she articulated the significance of her work, emphasizing how the integration of new technologies and interdisciplinary approaches could yield something profound, a unified understanding of the universe's fundamental nature. As she aimed her sights on future endeavors, she understood the importance of nurturing curiosity and encouraging bold ideas, continually stoking the flames of discovery that had driven her from the start. Outside the confines of research, Amina was equally active in fostering mentorship and support systems within her academic community. She organized study groups, hosted seminars for underrepresented students, and reached out to young, aspiring scientists, sharing her own journey of overcoming discrimination. Her personal narrative became an inspiration for many, proof that passion, when combined with hard work and resilience, could defy even the most entrenched biases. In classroom discussions and mentoring sessions alike, Amina emphasized that every setback was a stepping stone toward a larger, more profound discovery. Amina's personal life also mirrored the resilience of her professional journey. While juggling the pressures of academia, she navigated the complexities of maintaining relationships in a semblance of normalcy. The isolation that often accompanied her relentless pursuit of knowledge was alleviated by a tight-knit circle of friends and colleagues who provided emotional support and celebrated her every success. They formed an informal network within the university, a support system that extended beyond academic advice to include wellness check-ins, celebratory gatherings after major milestones, and quiet moments of understanding during particularly trying times. In this environment, Amina found nourishment for both her heart and mind. Throughout her graduate studies, Amina's work on dark matter began to attract attention from both the scientific community and the media. Her unique perspective and innovative methods, though initially met with skepticism, were slowly winning over the hearts and minds of even the most traditional critics. Invitations to discuss her research on national television and at international conferences became increasingly frequent. With each public appearance, she represented not only the potential of astrophysics, but also the promise of a more inclusive and diverse scientific community. One crisp autumn evening in her final year of doctoral research, after months of painstaking experiments and relentless analysis, the breakthrough came. Amina and her team had discovered an anomalous signal emanating from a distant galaxy cluster, an anomaly that defied existing models of dark matter interaction. With the support of her mentors, her colleagues, and a vast array of advanced computational models, she deduced that this signal could be evidence of a new subatomic particle. It was an unprecedented finding that had the potential to upend conventional wisdom in astrophysics. The announcement of her discovery reverberated across scientific circles. The discovery, which was later published in one of the world's most prestigious scientific journals, ignited discussions on the fundamental nature of the universe and opened new avenues for research into dark matter. Amina's work was credited with not only challenging established theories, but also with exemplifying the power of diversity in scientific inquiry. The once dismissed ideas of a young black woman had now rewritten parts of modern astrophysics. The scientific community celebrated her triumph with events and symposiums dedicated to her work. At one such event, Dr. Martinez took the stage and recounted her first encounter with Amina, highlighting how passion and determination could shatter long-standing prejudices. Professor Green, who had been a constant pillar of support, praised Amina for her intellectual bravery and innovative spirit. Yet despite the accolades and the recognition, Amina remained humble. In interviews, she stressed that her journey was not solely her own, but was built on the mentorship, support, and sacrifices of those who believed in the transformative power of education. The celebration of her achievement did not mark the end of her professional journey. It was, rather, the beginning of a new chapter. With her groundbreaking discovery, Dr. Carter received numerous offers for advanced research positions, collaborations with internationally renowned institutions, and opportunities to lead large-scale scientific projects. She chose to establish her own research division within the university, dedicated to exploring the many mysteries of dark matter and its implications on cosmology. Her initiative aimed at not only advancing scientific knowledge, but also at creating an environment where young scientists from underrepresented backgrounds could thrive. Within this new division, mentorship took on an even more profound meaning. Dr. Carter implemented programs that paired seasoned researchers with promising students who, like her, had once faced the uphill battle of academic discrimination. Regular workshops, research symposiums, and community outreach programs became hallmarks of her division, creating a nurturing ecosystem that celebrated diversity in thought and experience, fostering a new generation of scientists who could challenge and redefine the future. Over the following years, Carter's research division made several notable contributions to astrophysics. Their studies on dark matter interactions not only refined our understanding of cosmic phenomena, but also laid the groundwork for the next generation of theoretical models that could explain the observed anomalies in gravitational lensing and galaxy formation. The division's collaborative ethos, built on the very principles that had guided Amina throughout her career, soon became a model for academic institutions around the world striving for greater inclusion and equity. Despite her many achievements, Dr. Carter never lost sight of the obstacles she had overcome. On quiet evenings, when the hum of laboratory instruments faded into the background and the twinkle of city lights replaced that of distant stars, she would reflect upon her journey. Every hardship, every moment of dejection, and every instance of overt academic discrimination had contributed to her growth. These experiences had equipped her with a resilience that was as fundamental to her identity as her passion for astrophysics. Her successes were not simply markers of scientific achievement, they were testaments to the indomitable human spirit that could rise above prejudice and rewrite the narrative of what was possible. In addition to her research, Dr. Carter devoted time to writing articles and books that chronicled her experiences as a Black woman in a field that had long been a bastion of homogeneous thought. In one of her most influential essays, she recounted her early struggles with academic discrimination and emphasized the importance of mentorship and support systems. Science, she wrote, is not just about equations or telescopic observations. It is a human endeavor, thriving on collaboration, empathy, and the relentless pursuit of truth. Our differences are not obstacles, but rather the very ingredients that enrich our collective capacity for discovery. This essay resonated deeply with many, sparking conversations about the need for inclusive policies within academic institutions and inspiring reforms that promoted diversity in research faculties. As Dr. Carter's reputation grew, so did the responsibility she felt towards future generations. She initiated an annual conference on inclusive astrophysics, a gathering that brought together scientists, educators, policymakers, and students to discuss strategies for combating academic discrimination and fostering a more equitable research environment. The conference featured panels on bridging cultural divides in STEM, addressing unconscious bias in academic publishing, and mentoring programs aimed at nurturing talents from marginalized communities. Each year, the conference grew in size and influence, echoing Dr. Carter's vision of a scientific community that truly embraced diversity and innovation. Dr. Carter's leadership of the project, aptly named Celestial Eye, faced technical and logistical challenges, requiring a high level of precision that pushed the boundaries of current technology. Each member of Dr. Carter's team was acutely aware that the success of this mission would not only validate their novel theoretical framework, but also serve as a lasting symbol of what a diversified scientific community could achieve together, overcoming shared challenges through collaboration and inclusivity. The project, aptly named Celestial Eye, was fraught with technical and logistical challenges. The satellite's sensors required a level of precision that pushed the boundaries of current technology. Every member of Dr. Carter's team was acutely aware that the success of this mission would not only validate their novel theoretical framework, but also stand as a lasting symbol of what a diversified scientific community could accomplish. Under her leadership, the team spent endless hours refining algorithms, recalibrating instruments, and running simulations to ensure that the satellite could capture data with the desired accuracy. Months turned into years as the Celestial Eye project advanced through the stages of design, testing, and deployment. The journey was anything but smooth. Equipment failures, budgetary constraints, and bureaucratic red tape threatened to derail their progress at several critical junctures. In particular, several high-ranking officials expressed doubts about the feasibility of integrating such sensitive technology under Dr. Carter's management, bias that stemmed not from her technical acumen, but from the legacy of discrimination that had long persisted in the world of academia. However, each time these obstacles emerged, Dr. Carter's unwavering determination and the steadfast support of her mentors and colleagues pushed the project further along its course. In what would eventually be known as the defining moment of her illustrious career, the Celestial Eye satellite was finally launched into orbit. The launch, broadcast live across the globe, was a testament to years of perseverance, innovation, and the triumph of inclusivity over prejudice. As the satellite soared into the cosmos, Dr. Carter watched with a mixture of relief and elation, a culmination of not just her own dreams, but of the collective efforts of an entire community that had dared to challenge convention. In the following months, as data from the Celestial Eye began streaming in, Dr. Carter's team made a series of astonishing observations. The sensors captured previously undetectable interactions between dark matter particles, data that immediately began to reshape scientific models and stimulate debates within international conferences. One particular dataset revealing minute disturbances in the gravitational field around a distant galaxy cluster stood out as the most groundbreaking. After meticulous analysis and corroboration from independent research teams around the world, it was confirmed that these disturbances were indicative of an entirely new subatomic phenomenon, an achievement that exceeded even Dr. Carter's most ambitious expectations. The significance of this discovery was felt far beyond the corridors of academia. It was hailed as a monumental advancement in astrophysics, opening up promising pathways to explore the fundamental building blocks of the universe. Leading scientific organizations awarded Dr. Carter numerous honors, and she was invited to speak at major summits where her insights were celebrated as nothing less than revolutionary. In her acceptance speech for one such prestigious award, Dr. Carter acknowledged the power of mentorship and determinedly honored every individual who had helped pave her way. She spoke of the countless hours spent discussing theories over cups of coffee, the perseverance instilled by supportive family members, and the tireless advocacy by mentors who had unflinchingly believed in her potential. Her words resonated not only with scientists, but also with countless youths across the globe who saw in her story a beacon of possibility amidst adversity. Dr. Carter's scientific achievement with the Celestial Eye project not only redefined our understanding of dark matter, but also served as a resounding declaration that diversity in science is a strength to be celebrated, fostering a more inclusive academic environment that recognizes the contributions of all individuals, regardless of their background. Reflecting on her journey, Dr. Carter often recalled the early days when she would gaze up at the night sky, imagining that each star held a promise that no matter how many barriers were built, the light of knowledge and perseverance would ultimately prevail. Overcoming academic discrimination was not merely a personal battle. It was a crusade for every underrepresented individual who dared to dream of transcending the constraints imposed by society. Her story had become a blueprint for change, a reminder that every setback was merely an invitation to reach higher, and that the support of a compassionate community could transform adversity into achievement. In parallel with her community engagements, Dr. Carter continued to advance astrophysical research, using celestial eyes data alongside new techniques in artificial intelligence to construct a comprehensive model of dark matter interactions. One particularly memorable initiative was the Cosmic Dreams Summer Program, an intensive hands-on experience designed for high school students from underserved neighborhoods. The program, founded by Dr. Carter, brought together a diverse group of young, inquisitive minds for weeks of lectures, experiments, and nighttime stargazing sessions using portable telescopes. During one such summer, a group of students marveled at the vastness of the universe, inspired by Dr. Carter's detailed recount of her own journey, from a curious child in a modest neighborhood to a leading astrophysicist whose research was changing the face of science. For many of these students, the program was transformative, planting seeds of passion and instilling the belief that the cosmos had room for every dreamer. In parallel with her community engagements, Dr. Carter continued to push the limits of astrophysical research. The data from Celestial Eye, combined with emerging techniques in artificial intelligence and machine learning, enabled her team to construct the most comprehensive model of dark matter interactions ever produced. The model not only reconciled previously inexplicable anomalies in observational data, but also paved the way for a deeper understanding of the interplay between dark matter and the evolution of galaxies. Peer-reviewed journals buzzed with discussions of her findings, and international research organizations sought her expertise in shaping the future of astrophysics research. Yet even as accolades piled up and her research achieved a global impact, Dr. Carter remained dedicated to mentoring, ensuring that she took time to inspire and nurture the next generation of scientists who would continue to trailblaze in academia. In quieter moments between lectures and research meetings, she made it a priority to mentor young scientists one-on-one. In a modest office adorned with photographs of family, mentors, and snapshots of celestial marvels, she patiently explained complex equations on whiteboards, encouraging her mentees to find their own unique voice in the world of science. She listened as they recounted their own struggles with discrimination or the loneliness that sometimes accompanied their academic ambitions, offering both technical advice and heartfelt empathy. The culmination of her career's work was marked by the announcement of yet another breakthrough, a major scientific achievement that encapsulated decades of research, thousands of hours of dedication, and the collective efforts of a vibrant, diverse scientific community. Dr. Carter and her team had successfully validated a new theoretical model that not only explained the peculiar behavior of dark matter across different cosmic scales, but also opened up novel experimental avenues for investigating quantum gravitational effects. This model, which integrated insights from particle physics, quantum field theory, and cosmology, was heralded as one of the most significant advancements in modern astrophysics. Its predictive power promised to guide future astronomical observations and even influence the design of next-generation telescopes. The announcement was made at an international symposium held in a bustling metropolitan convention center. As the audience, composed of some of the most brilliant minds in the field, listened intently to Dr. Carter describe her model and its implications, there was a palpable sense of awe and admiration in the room. When she concluded her presentation, the applause that erupted was not just for the scientific merit of her discovery, but also for the personal journey that it represented. A journey from a young girl with big dreams to a woman who had reshaped our understanding of the universe. In the months that followed the symposium, Dr. Carter's discovery became the focal point of numerous scientific papers, news segments, and academic discussions. Funding agencies lauded her work, and international collaborations were set in motion to further explore the applications of her model. Researchers from around the globe reached out to her, eager to build upon her findings and to ensure that the momentum of inclusive, innovative research would continue. More importantly, her success story began to dismantle long-held stereotypes within academia, demonstrating unequivocally that excellence in science knows no color, gender, or background. As Dr. Carter stood on the precipice of yet another new beginning, she reflected on the years that had led her to this moment. Every trial, every instance of discrimination, every moment of doubt had been tempered by the love, mentorship, and relentless pursuit of knowledge. Her scientific achievement, rooted in the exploration of dark matter and its intricate relationship with the cosmos, was a brilliant testament to the human spirit's capacity for resilience, creativity, and empathy. Ultimately, Dr. Amina Carter's story became much more than a chronicle of scientific discovery. It was a narrative of personal triumph, a call to dismantle institutional barriers, and a rallying cry for a future where every mind, regardless of its origins, could soar to infinite heights. Her groundbreaking work redefined astrophysics, and in doing so, reshaped the academic landscape to be more inclusive and supportive. From a young girl gazing up at a starry expanse to a world-renowned scientist leading a revolution in cosmic understanding, her journey was an enduring reminder that determination, supported by mentorship and community, could transform even the vastest voids of discrimination into opportunities for illumination. As Dr. Carter began to mentor a new generation of scientists, she recognized the importance of establishing scholarships and internships aimed specifically at underrepresented groups in the fields of science and technology. Understanding that her own journey was paved by the guidance of those who came before her, she sought to create programs that empower young minds to pursue their ambitions fully. Workshops hosted in community centers, schools, and even online platforms became avenues for students to engage with thought leaders and hands-on experiments. The ripple effect of her initiatives soon became apparent. A vast network of aspiring astrophysicists emerged, brimming with ideas and visions that both challenged and expanded the boundaries of conventional science. Among her mentees was Rajiv, a young prodigy from a low-income neighborhood who had built his own radio telescope from discarded materials. Under Dr. Carter's guidance, Rajiv was able to present his findings on cosmic radiation at international conferences, gaining recognition previously thought unattainable for someone from his background. Meanwhile, Dr. Carter's advocacy extended beyond just education. She became a voice in policy circles, lobbying for increased funding for STEM programs in underserved communities, and pushing for curricula that included diverse contributions to science history. Her relentless pursuit led to partnerships with tech giants and educational institutions, creating pathways for internships and research opportunities that bridge the gap between theory and practical experience. Her story, woven into the tapestry of a larger movement, inspired countless others to join her cause. Each person carried their own narrative of struggle and resilience, adding depth to the collective mission of making science accessible to all. The impact of her work could be seen not only in academic publications, but also in the streets filled with young dreamers who once thought the stars were beyond their grasp. Ultimately, Dr. Amina Carter became not just a name in astrophysics, but a beacon of hope and change. Her legacy was defined by the countless lives transformed, by the doors opened to new possibilities, and by the message that the universe was not only for those who were traditionally considered qualifiers, but for everyone willing to reach for the stars. As she gazed into the night sky, filled with constellations of challenges overcome and futures ignited, she was reminded that the journey was far from over, but together they were charting a course toward an inclusive cosmos where every voice could be heard and every dream could take flight. As twilight settled over the campus where her division now thrived, Dr. Carter walked slowly past the observatory dome, the reflections of countless stars twinkling like beacons of hope. In the annals of science, the significant achievement of Dr. Amina Carter will forever be remembered not only for its profound impact on our understanding of dark matter, but also for the indelible mark it left on the hearts and minds of those who dared to dream differently. Her story continues to serve as an inspiration for every young scientist confronting the twin challenges of academic rigor and societal bias. Through her work, countless students have learned that the pursuit of truth and beauty in science is as much about perseverance and community as it is about equations and data. Looking to the future, Dr. Carter planned to expand her research endeavors, seeking to integrate the principles of quantum mechanics with astrophysical phenomena in ways that could unlock new dimensions of cosmic knowledge. As part of this vision, she launched an interdisciplinary initiative that brought together experts in mathematics, computer science, and even philosophy to re-examine the very nature of existence in the universe. In a series of collaborative projects, her team sought answers to the fundamental questions that had captivated humanity since time immemorial. What is the fabric of reality? How do unseen forces shape the cosmos? And how can science, while rooted in empirical evidence, also become a bridge between different cultures and philosophies? This ambitious project, driven by the same spirit of collaboration that had defined her career, received widespread support from both the academic community and the general public. It was a living embodiment of her belief that science was not a solitary quest, but rather a grand tapestry woven from the collective contributions of diverse voices and perspectives. As researchers and students joined her initiative, they embraced the challenges of expanding the boundaries of astrophysics while also advocating for reforms that made scientific inquiry more inclusive and representative of our global community. With each passing month, the project's impact grew, attracting attention from media outlets and institutions around the world. The initiative not only aimed at groundbreaking research, but also fostered a vibrant ecosystem of mentorship, workshops, and public outreach programs designed to ignite the curiosity of young minds. Workshops at local schools allowed students to explore fundamental astrophysics concepts through hands-on experiments and engaging discussions, while online seminars reached participants globally, breaking geographical barriers that historically limited access to such fields. To enhance her advocacy for inclusivity, she established a scholarship fund that targeted underrepresented groups in STEM. This initiative provided resources and opportunities for aspiring astrophysicists to pursue higher education, and many recipients went on to contribute remarkable insights to the project. Their diverse backgrounds not only enriched the research, but also introduced alternative lenses through which to view long-standing questions in the field. As the project gained momentum, it also became a focal point for addressing broader ethical issues in scientific research. Workshops on responsible science communication and the importance of transparency in research practices were incorporated into the program. This comprehensive approach attracted diverse stakeholders, including policymakers who recognized the need for a more equitable scientific landscape. Collaborations with artists and educators transformed scientific findings into accessible narratives, allowing the public to engage with complex astrophysical phenomena in meaningful ways. Despite the hurdles faced, including skepticism from traditionalists within the field, the initiative forged ahead, demonstrating that the future of astrophysics rested on collaboration and inclusivity. Each breakthrough was celebrated not merely as a personal accomplishment, but as a collective victory, reinforcing the notion that the chorus of diverse voices was essential in enriching the fabric of scientific exploration. As the international conference showcasing their findings approached, excitement grew within the team. They prepared for discussions that would not only present their findings, but also challenge existing paradigms. It was a culmination of years of hard work and dedication, a testament not just to the power of science, but to the strength of community. In her heart, she knew that this was only the beginning, a stepping stone towards a future where everyone had a seat at the table in the quest for knowledge among the stars. By the time Dr. Carter's later publications began to appear, her work had transcended the realm of theoretical physics and emerged as a cultural phenomenon. Lectures, articles, and documentaries detailing her life and research reached audiences worldwide, inspiring discussions on the importance of overcoming discrimination and nurturing innovation. Young people everywhere, especially those from historically marginalized communities, found in her journey a beacon of hope, a vivid illustration that with determination and support, even the loftiest dreams could be realized. In a heartfelt interview with a leading science magazine, Dr. Carter recalled the early days of her struggle in school and how every discouraging comment only fueled a determination to excel. "I looked at the cosmos and believed that every star was a possibility waiting to be discovered," she explained. "The hurdles I faced were not obstacles, but rather challenges that prepared me for the complexity of the universe itself. With every setback, I learned to build bridges, both in my research and in the communities I now nurture. Science is, at its heart, a shared human endeavor." Those words resonated profoundly as the Conference for Inclusive Astrophysics returned for yet another year. The annual gathering, now a major event in the scientific calendar, was held in a grand auditorium adorned with images of the solar system and inspirational quotes from pioneers of diverse backgrounds. Here, scholars and students shared breakthroughs, discussed strategies to combat bias, and celebrated the intricate interplay between science and society. Dr. Carter's keynote address, which recounted the intertwined paths of adversity, mentorship, and discovery, was met with a standing ovation and reaffirmed the belief that the collective pursuit of knowledge could indeed overcome the barriers of prejudice. In the end, the story of Dr. Amina Carter is one of transcendent achievement, a narrative that encapsulates the essence of scientific discovery while championing the values of inclusion, perseverance, and community. Through her life's work, she redefined what it means to be a scientist in the modern era, transforming personal adversity into a force for universal progress. The scientific achievement that crowned her career was not just the uncovering of a new subatomic phenomenon, but also the breaking of long-held chains that had constrained the potential of countless brilliant minds. On a serene evening after another successful conference, as the city lights twinkled reminiscent of the night sky above, and the excitement of academia settled into a quiet anticipation of future discoveries, Dr. Carter looked toward the horizon with hope. Thus, the story of Dr. Amina Carter lives on, a tale of resilience against academic discrimination, of transformative mentorship and support, and of scientific triumph that redefined our understanding of dark matter and the universe. Her journey is a perpetual reminder that in the endless vault of the cosmos, there is room for every inquisitive soul to soar, to overcome bias, and to shine brilliantly, lighting the way for those yet to come. As the night deepened over the observatory and the celestial eye continued its silent vigil in orbit, Dr. Carter penned her thoughts in a leather-bound journal, a record of every challenge met and every barrier broken. Each entry was a personal manifesto, a declaration that the pursuit of knowledge, when anchored in empathy and resilience, transforms lives and reshapes destinies. And so, with a heart full of gratitude and eyes still fixed on the stars, Dr. Amina Carter embarked on the next stage of her extraordinary journey, continuing to explore the eternal mysteries of the universe and to inspire countless others to dare reach for the infinite.